CNY Music Now. We are live from Homer, New York after some, I won't even call it technical difficulties. I'll call it Facebook difficulties, Charles. But we are in the studio finally, and about 8:13 we'll give Mr. J. Schnitt a few more minutes after the hour as well. But Charles, why don't you start off by introducing, first of all, good to see you, my friend.
You as well, my man, you know. Fun week here in lovely central New York, you know.
That's right.
The beauty is we're here again. Another good Sunday night, folks. Hopefully you have had a great, great week. We are very, very happy and blessed that we have got the extremely talented Jay Schnitt, as you were saying there, Vinny. You know, poet, storyteller, multi-award winner, folks, here in the studio with us. Jay, how you doing, and what have you been up to, my man?
I don't know, not too much. I'm finishing up another album. That's mostly what I've been concentrating on.
All right.
And just getting done with a bunch of shows, and now things are starting to slow down, unfortunately. But
we're getting to that winter season,
yeah,
but you know.
So it's been tough going.
Yeah. But we're getting through. We're getting to the other side.
Yeah.
You know, I'm hoping we're getting to the other side because, you know, venues are opening up for people. You know, you're up in the Utica area. There's been some great stuff happening there. We're lucky here in central New York that, you know, we got a lot of breweries, wineries, distilleries that are, you know, opening up to talented musicians such as yourself. So the beauty is hopefully, you know, we get this gigging back. It's got to be fun to be playing for live crowds again, man.
Yeah, it is. It's been good to be back after that year.
Yeah,
of course.
You know, we'll call it limbo. We are all in limbo during that period.
Times.
You know, the funny thing, you know, what this new project is what called Winter Gospel, right?
Winter Gospel, yep.
So, you know, as we are approaching winter, if you guys haven't noticed outside, by the way, it is fast encroaching upon us. You know, tell us a little bit about that project, where it came from.
It's a collection of songs mostly that were written over the quarantine. At least I started to work on it then. Mostly finishing up, kind of coming out of it, because I put out a record during the quarantine of all songs I wrote during that, and kind of speaking about that whole experience and stuff, called Compass of Stars. And I needed some more stuff to do, so I wrote this collection of songs. And it's kind of it's a little departure from what I've been doing lately. My past few albums have been very kind of current event, kind of talking about social issues, very kind of political minded, get myself into trouble sometimes with that. But, you know, this one's kind of it's much more personal, kind of dark. It's definitely like a rainy day, Sunday morning record,
okay.
You know.
Nice.
It's not the cheeriest of songs, but it's a lot of songs kind of talking about transition, the ending of things, and trying to kind of come to terms with changes in life. And
did you find it cathartic? You know, we
very
talked to a lot
much
of
so,
artists that, you know, going through the same period that all of us have been going.
Yeah.
You know, they have found that some of their songwriting, and that's why I bring it to you that way. It's like, you know, hopefully it was cathartic in that way, and, you know, you were able to get that stuff.
It certainly was, and kind of address some issues, just kind of personal things that, you know, I've been holding on to for a long time. You know, I was able to kind of address some of those things, and you know, this is how I kind of talk to the world. So it's the best way to do it. You know?
That's a good way to let it out. You know, I think we're envious that, you know, you've got the talent to be able to do it. You know, get it out there. You know, we talk about it all the time. You know, maybe we should be poets and just write it down. We don't necessarily have to share it with anybody, but at least we get it out on paper at that
That's
point.
right.
You know?
Yeah,
You're bold enough to at least put it out there to the public, Jay. So thank you. You know,
we can talk about the people that have talent. At
no,
least,
exactly. You know, we're good interacting with them. That's the good
right.
thing.
Yeah.
That's why they have us here. We are the coffee table of this whole situation, like we were talking earlier, guys.
That's right. Well,
we got to get to the music.
I know.
Vinny,
I know.
You know?
We've had enough technical difficulties. Let's ease them with some illustrious tunes.
Jay, what do you feel like opening up with, man?
I'm gonna try this one that might not be very good. It's a new song off the record, and I haven't really played it a whole bunch.
We love this.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's
we'll see
what we're all
happens.
about.
It's but you know, since we were just talking about the new record, I figured it's probably a good idea to do something off it.
Apropos.
And I still haven't come up with what I'm gonna call this song yet.
Oh, even better. See, Facebook, get working.
Yeah. All right, we good?
Yes, sir.
See how I gotta remember how it goes. Okay, I think I got it. There we go. I've been looking for a way to say I can leave us all in the dust. The words ain't coming, I'm still running away, but not nearly fast enough. And I'm looking for a sign, lead me to the other side, 'cause I ain't ready to leave her behind me. I know I gotta find a new way home. We just need someone to remind me. You never catch what you can't let go. And I've been looking for a way to shake this feeling I'll always be wrong. And I'm so sick of hearing how you don't know what you got till it's gone. As if I didn't know. Now tell me, how do you let go when you ain't ready to leave her behind you? You gotta find a new way home. Maybe just need someone to remind you. You never catch what you can't let go. It's like pissing into the wind, running a race you'll never win. Let my head let go of my heart wants to hold. So I'm looking for a sign to lead me to the other side. I ain't ready to leave her behind me. I gotta find a new way home. Maybe just need someone to remind me. You'll never be ready to leave her behind you. You gotta find a new way home. Just need someone to remind you. You never catch what you can't let go. You never catch what you can't let go.
Beautiful stuff.
I mean, that's mighty pretty, man. You know, apropos. You can never catch what you can't let go.
I was stuck on that one. That's a daily problem.
I mean, that might be the
might
be the title of the song right there.
It might be, yeah.
You know, because that's just
seriously.
That's prophetic in a lot of ways.
That's a nice line, you know.
That's a good line. That's a great line. You ever talk about running and not being able to get man.
And taking risks. Life's all about taking risks, and like what if you end up with what you bargained for,
Yeah.
Like, careful what you wish for, type of thing.
Right.
True.
Don't catch what you can't let go. So.
Well, we all hope that we find that somebody that can, teach us to get beyond
We do.
what
Exactly.
you were speaking to right there, man.
In the meantime, are you do any fishing, Charles? You were fishing?
I used to be. I used to fish more than I do, and I miss it. And we're in an area that, some great fishing around here. So,
It
and the
is.
funny thing, we were sitting in that line, and I'm going, God, I need to get in the brook.
There you go.
That's
get
right.
a little
yeah.
stream, do a little casting.
Last
You
time
fish, Jay?
Very rarely, but every once in a great while. And I've rarely catch it. Last time I went fishing, I caught a fishing pole. A real good fishing pole. That was my big catch of the day. But
I feel like that's somebody sending you a message or something.
It's like, no, that means you need to be going out more.
Go back to the drawing board.
Oh, that's too funny.
Yeah.
Just like the story where you catch a license plate or a tire or something.
Yeah. Or it's
At
like
least you got something that's useful.
I know.
in Forrest Gump,
Yeah, it
that
still worked,
scene.
too.
That scene where they the first shrimp boat scene where they pull up
Oh, yeah.
The toilet bowl. And
Toilet bowl, the
It's like,
license plate drops
I only
out,
caught.
you know.
No, that's the line. I only caught 5.
I only
You get
caught-
yourself one more, and you can have a cocktail.
Oh,
Oh
Forrest.
man.
Man.
So you've been. You said you had quite a few shows this summer, but it's obviously with
Yeah,
the
I
weather.
played quite a bit this summer. It's always a struggle, being a kind of an independent solo, original artist. Just trying to get out there, and so I did play a lot over the summer, which was great. But a lot of these kind of you're sitting in the corner, nobody's really paying attention. It's not easy sometimes.
You've had we've had
But,
people say that, but then we've also had. I remember somebody in here was saying that a lot could be going through people's mind when they don't look like they're paying attention to you. They could be really vibing.
There's always there's always some people that you don't realize you're reaching and you're hitting.
Oh, definitely. Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, you are background music, but that's not, that's obviously not my goal, to be the background music. But
No.
especially, writing, I write a lot, and I want people to hear them, and I think,
I'd say a lot is an
A lot is an understatement there, but no. Jay, you are prolific.
Yeah, yeah.
Looking at that discography, like we were talking before the show started, man. You got it. Keep it flowing.
It doesn't mean they're any good. There's a lot of them.
No.
With things slowing down right now, I'm kind of trying to take a look and take a step back and figure out how I can. I've done a lot of really, really nice shows, but they're kind of few and far between, and like opening for bigger names, things like that, or these kind of songwriter showcases and stuff like that, and really trying to figure out how to, I don't know, reach that kind of level that I'm aiming for.
Yeah.
It's something I'm horribly bad at. It is definitely not my strength. I'd much rather just
See,
be
we
up
got
in
to
the
get him a
studio.
manager, Vinny. Yeah, that's what we'll do.
Yeah.
We'll find him a manager. 'Cause, well, the other thing is, you got to remember, brother, those folks, the people that you be opening up for, are just getting back out and into it.
for sure.
So, I think you're going to see a prosperous 2022.
I hope so.
Because I think we're all craving it like mad dogs. We talk about it every week, how much we're just jonesing for live shows and just happy with the venues that are doing this thing. So all you out there, keep doing what you're doing in that respect so that we can get, guys like Jay, that mic time that they need. But the beauty is you're on Bandcamp. So, the beauty is these folks that are listening to this
Bandcamp,
tonight can show you the love, Spotify as well. But the beauty about Bandcamp is, it comes back to you. Exactly.
Yeah, that's the one to stick to is that Bandcamp
Exactly.
platform.
That-
Yeah.
37-cent check every few months from
Yeah.
Spotify.
Hey,
I get,
I had a music teacher that did this Pepsi commercial back in the 60s.
Yeah.
And one of the funniest things she would always talk about, she was like, I can count on that residual check month in, month out. And it's little things like that.
That's it,
though,
yeah, and
So
that
it's
adds
just like,
up.
all right, hey.
Plus,
That-
who can say that they have how many people can say they have residual from like
Yeah.
a song that they made? It's
yeah.
you got a good body of work. I mean, it's one thing I saw was that he's written at least one new album like every year since
No, think about it.
1999.
He's been doing this for 20 years. He's got 22 albums out there.
That's ridiculous.
I was sitting there on the way in. They were talking about, Carole King and how she went on that roll where I guess, she put out 4 albums in the span of like 2 years or something, Bro, you're on
Incredible stuff.
you're on that line.
Writing
And,
songs
think about
isn't easy.
singer-songwriter. There you go. So,
Yeah, like I said, it's the only way I know how to communicate. I'm a pretty quiet guy. I'm a shy guy, and
Makes for a good musician.
but
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Yes, indeed, man.
Speaking of music, Charles, let's hear another tune.
I'm thinking it's.
Let's hear another tune.
yeah.
Jay, what are you feeling?
Well, I told you I write a lot about current events and stuff like that, and sometimes get me into trouble. This is one of those.
Let's
But
hear it.
it's kind of fun. But people tend to dig this one quite a bit lately. It's called the. I'm sure you're familiar with Bob Dylan. Everybody knows
yes,
Bob
indeed.
Dylan. But when
Yeah.
at the Newport Folk Festival in 1965, he picked up the electric guitar, and everybody went crazy. So I wrote this song after watching the news a lot, and I was drinking in the studio with my buddy, and we were just kind of talking about the state of the world.
Yeah.
How you do. We're having a few beers, and we talk about girls, but at some, you know, we were trying to figure out, like, well, how the heck did we get here, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what was the butterfly that flapped? It's like, where did it all start? Like, and at some point, my friend kind of looked over after about 5 or 6 beers. He was like, man, it's probably all Dylan's fault. And so I wrote this the next day. It's called The Bob Dylan Went Electric in 1965, Talkin' Blues Revisited.
Let's do it.
Butterfly effect.
Love it.
Way back in the summer of 65, Bob Dylan got bored and maybe a little tired of picking and strumming on stage all alone. He put a band together, just wanted to play a little rock and roll. You know, he still wanted to say stuff, he just wanted to say it a little louder. Yeah, and that right there was when the end got started. The fans started booing, they didn't like it louder, and the whole wide world started to lose their minds. Even Pete Seeger picked up an axe and tried to put an end to the whole dang thing. You know, we would have been better off if he had. 'Cause Dylan went electric in 1965. Then the world went insane, now we're all gonna die. Now we're in the state we're in, wanna know the reason why? Yeah, it's all 'cause Dylan went electric in 1965. Well, the band didn't stop, they kept the show on tour, they kept getting louder, used more and more electricity to drive the ramps. To get where they were going, they used all of the gas, well, most of it, some enough, put us over the edge, you know. Oil don't grow on trees, man, and that's why there's war in the Middle East. Then they got so loud they heard it in Washington. They said, where's all that noise coming from? A racket like I never heard before. What's making all them kids so sore? Somebody better call the cops. Send in the National Guard, shut them all up, remind them what it means to be American. Crate them up, ship them all off to Vietnam. Finally we got some peace and quiet. And Dylan went electric in 1965, and the world went insane. Now we're all gonna die. Every single war we've ever had to fight, yeah, it's all 'cause Dylan went electric in 1965. Then unfortunately one night in Wichita, Dylan's amp developed a peculiar flaw, transimolecular transmodification, which in turn produced a lethal amplification. And by the time they got to like a rolling stone, they'd blown a hole straight through the ozone. Now that's some real science stuff, true facts. Read a book. Then the thump of the bass, it created a reaction chain, pushed some air down to 5th and Main, where it created a kind of sonic whirlpool. Started growing, getting bigger, then soon the whole dang thing got out of hand. Started gaining power all across the land, yeah, it sucked up all that CO2, and then by subterranean homesick blues, the whole thing finally gave out and blew, sending chemicals and gases into the air, eventually destroying our atmosphere. Global warming, climate change, you know, scientists keep saying it's you and me. Gotta go back to the source, man. Thanks a lot, Dylan. 'Cause Dylan went electric in 1965, and then the world went insane, and now we're all gonna die. Hurricanes, floods, melting of the polar ice, yeah, it's all 'cause Dylan went electric in 1965. I said sometimes I get into trouble. This is the verse that sometimes I try to remind people it's just a stupid song. Don't worry too much
Just
about it.
keep her
Just get
clean,
another
Jay.
beer. When Donald Trump was a kid, he got invited to a show, but he said he was busy, he declined to go. Said he had better things to do, you know, get peed on, sniff some glue. But when he heard he had missed such an epic event, he felt left out, had to put in his own 2 cents. He said, Bob Dylan, so overrated, sad. That was my best Trump impression there. But from that point on, an idea started forming. The one gear that worked in his head started turning. He just couldn't shake it out of his head. 51 years later, finally stood up and said, if they let Dylan get away with that, and all I've been doing is talking crap. Seems like folk here ain't too choosy. Think I can go out and grab some presidential votes. It seems like they'll let you get away with anything around here if you do a loud enough Dylan inspiration. Then Dylan went electric in 1965, then the world went insane, now we're all gonna die. And we had a whiny man baby as our president, 45, yeah, all 'cause Dylan went electric in 1965. Then the next few years were a bit of a fright. We were trudging along, still fighting the fight. We didn't quite know how bad things could get. Could someone tell me, is America great again yet? And we hadn't heard from Dylan for a while. I thought that was a silver lining. But then he decided to put out his first new song since the election. Put out Rough and Rowdy Ways, released in the year 2020. Need I say more? And the answer, my friend, it's blowing in the wind. Yeah, but then again, so is COVID-19, so everybody better quarantine. Them fires out west are burning the ground flat. The wind surely ain't the answer to that. No one knows who to trust or who to believe, but I can sure tell you one thing, it sure ain't Bob Dylan. You know, that's not even his real name, it's Robert Zimmerman. What you trying to hide, Bob? And Dylan went electric in 1965, and then the world went insane, and now we're all gonna die. The year 2020 came and screwed with all our lives, yeah, all 'cause Dylan went electric in 1965. All right, we're almost done. So if you've been wondering where things went wrong, I think it's safe to say it all leads back to that time Dylan picked up a Stratocaster for the first time. Unintended consequences of speaking your mind, but we made pie charts, spreadsheets, double-checked the facts, performed interviews, and it all leads back to the Newport Folk Festival in 1965. I didn't even mention Enron, ExxonMobil, Citizens United, Flat Earthers, Zuckerberg, Tom Petty died, David Bowie died, Prince died, Eddie Van Halen died, Dylan still kicking. Coincidence? I don't think so. So if you want to blame someone for the state we're in, I say we might as well blame Bob Dylan. It's alright, he can take it. And anyway, it's easier than blaming ourselves. Dylan went electric in 1965, and then the world went insane. Now we're all gonna die. Taking responsibility, oh yeah, right, I'll just blame Dylan going electric in 1965. Dylan went electric in 1965.
Darn you, Dylan.
Well done, man. Exactly. Yeah. You know, I've been looking for an excuse, somebody to blame, and now we got it. Thanks to Jay. Thank you, Jay, man. You know, Dylan in '65. That's Stratocaster. I'm upset now. You know, I'm gonna sit there and tell people, do not buy Stratocasters. You know? No, I couldn't do that, guys. No, too much of a rocker. So
comedy is how we get through things.
That's it right there.
You
no,
know?
that's a funny tune, bro.
It is. That's a lot of words to remember too, man. That's like spitting bars right there, Charles.
Yeah. No, you ain't kidding. No.
You know,
he was dropping lines, man.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a whole lot to remember.
It's about poet, storyteller. Come on. You know?
I know.
You know, we're in the company of a man that's deep.
That's right.
I'm loving that axe, man.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I got this a few years back. I spent so many years playing just a crappy beater, and then finally invested into something I love, and I just did, yeah.
Where'd you find it?
At my local music store.
Right there,
Big Apple Music, yeah. Hooked me up.
Man.
Nice. Got to support those local guys, you know?
That's right.
Yeah.
Keep those guys going. Those local music stores.
Modified it a bit, you know.
That's what I was noticing. So, you know.
Yeah, so usually when I play live, I play with I got like a suitcase drum I made out of an old suitcase that I sit on. So I have that as my kick drum, and then I got like a tambourine and a cymbal I stomp on for some percussion, and then I've got like these two pickups. So I run 3 different guitar lines out.
Okay.
Where it's the normal guitar, and then this pickup picks up these 2 strings, and I run a delay, and then I run like it's like a Mellotron pedal on these low strings, so I can get this like violin sound almost going.
Okay.
I don't know, just it's kind of fun, just to add to the sound rather than
some
just,
depth and
just
effect,
me and
right.
the one guy, you know.
Yeah. Oh, nice, man. Hey. I'm dying. Yeah, where are you playing next? Because, you know, I know these people are dying.
I don't have a whole lot coming up. My only thing is the Night Drop, I think it's called, in Syracuse. In about 2 weeks, yeah. I just got through playing a ton. And like I said, it just kind of November hit, and I can't get anything on the books. And
it's slowing down everywhere.
Yeah.
You know? But hey.
It's Central New York, you know, weather.
Hopefully I'll have a few more things pop up, you know. But, you know, like I said, I'm trying to concentrate more on some more bigger things if I can get it.
Oh, yeah.
No guarantee, but we'll see.
So putting the finishing touches on, you know, Winter Gospel.
Yep.
You know, how are you tweaking it, you know?
Yeah, well, I got my own studio, and I got every instrument you can imagine up there, and that's kind of where I've done all my records.
Oh.
I just kind of recorded myself, and then one of my best friends, Matt Wagner, is he's one of those just genius ears, and he kind of makes me sound like I know what the hell I'm doing up there.
Love those people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Sometimes he's a little confused at what I give him, but
He works with it.
Yeah, and he knows my sound and what I'm going for, and so it's in his hands now.
Oh, beautiful.
And,
See, it's always good to know a good producer.
Yeah.
That's
I
it right
agree.
there.
I wish I could have someone produce my life on a moment-to-moment basis. Like, wait, cut. No, we need this light to be a little bit better.
Yeah.
Wind,
I think
stop.
we'd all be a lot better off if
Yeah.
we could all have our own producers.
Exactly. Maybe that's technically.
I need a life producer.
Yeah, life. Any takers?
Side gigs. We could help each other out in that way. I guess.
We could.
Right.
We could. You'd be helping me out a lot. Let's just say
There you
that.
go.
Yeah. So
We'll start to process this kind of stuff. Yeah. So everybody out there, if you're looking for a life producer, or if you think you could be a good one, get a hold
That's
of
right.
everybody here.
Get a hold of the show.
Hey.
Get a hold of the Sunday night studio
need help.
sessions.
Yeah.
Number is 888. I need help. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. Oh man.
it's
Well-
nice. So I've been up in the studio now. I'm kind of working on starting a new one.
Yeah.
It's
That's what you
once
do.
the one's out of my hands, start something else. So I got a whole other record demoed that I'm trying to figure out. And
I think we
see,
might have understated it just by saying prolific.
I know. Yeah.
Already got it in.
He's got
in the can. You got the demo in the can.
Yeah. They're
Does it just
spewing out of them.
Yeah, I mean, does it just come to you? Because we ask everybody when we're
Yeah.
here. The process is always going to be different in that sense of it. But do you have a thing that happens more often than others? In terms of how the songs come to you and all that.
it depends on when I'm doing kind of my social commentary stuff.
Yeah.
There's usually a very specific kind of point I want to get across, or something to whether it be about gun control or whatever. There's something that I'm speaking about. Black Lives Matter movement. I wrote a song about that over the quarantine during all that. So, and that's something in me that I just can't. I want to be able to comment on these things and put it out in the world. And sometimes it's I don't know. I feel like it's probably not great for my career sometimes, but
Well, it's the only thing is, I guess if you just choose to have an opinion of any kind, you feel, you feel
you're
like
gonna.
You're at risk.
And I feel like
Yeah.
music, it's kind of lost a lot of that. Where
yeah.
it used to be super political, and
Yeah.
and not even necessarily political, but just kind of on the
Had
side of
something to
social
say.
justice, and it had a purpose, and
It's where a lot of things were discussed.
yeah.
You could at least have the conversation around.
And at least that's part
the
of
song.
putting these songs out there. It's not to necessarily convince anybody of anything, but more to just start this conversation and
No, that's a good
we
point.
need
Learn
to
to
talk
disagree.
about these things.
Well, no, yeah, you
this
just
stuff
talk
isn't
about,
going away.
Read a book, in
Yeah.
that sense of, it's not to provoke anybody,
Sure.
but start the conversation.
Yeah.
And
Try to do it civilly. That's what like the Dylan. It's a humorous song because it was the best way to. Sometimes humor is the best way to oftentimes get across there. So,
I agree.
but there's serious ones. But then on the other side of that, there's those kind of. You never know. I kind of come from the idea of you kind of got to let the song tell you what it wants to be,
Right.
And so you kind of might have a chord structure or something, and then a line comes in there, and you're like, all right, I don't know what this line means, but we're gonna keep it there for
Boom.
now. And then eventually, the song, if you're open to it and you're willing to let it. I find when you kind of force things down the song's throat, you're like, I want to do this, then you're kind of gonna run into trouble. And I think also doing it, when you kind of approach, I think any art in that way, whatever it is, and you're kind of open to it, letting it. There's kind of a conversation that happens between you and the song or the painting or whatever it is you're doing, and it allows you to kind of learn a lot about yourself, and kind of maybe reveal some things you might not necessarily want to poke at, but it's good, it's good to poke at it and kind of reveal some of those things in yourself, and also of course about other people while you're doing that, and just kind of the human race in general, and how we respond, and
yeah. The universe will speak to you. You know, and the funny thing is, that I have found in my experience is that it'll speak louder if I'm not paying attention. Play this stuff. It goes.
Yeah.
You didn't catch me as I was trying to give you that hint. And no, I think you're speaking right to that, brother. So, oh man.
Yeah, beautifully said for sure. That's one thing music can do. I think is say things that a lot of us can't say or don't take the time to say. Because it takes sometimes you have a thought, but you're just on to the next thing so quickly that you don't have time to hash it out.
And I think it's not just music, but again, any sort of art form, whatever it be, it serves its best purpose when it kind of takes those intangible kind of unspoken things about being human that we all kind of feel and understand in some sense, but there's not really a real good way to kind of bring it up or talk about it, and that's why art is so important. I think
difficult. Words are difficult.
It's the language that we use to communicate those things to each other, right?
We feel like we have to describe feelings. It's like if we can't bring feelings to English words, there's like a frustration, rather than just feel them, We someone like crickets in here? We got to shut that porch door outside.
Well, we were talking about fishing earlier, and so I forgot that I had bait in my pocket. So,
Yeah, we'll have to use that up later. Go down to Durkee Park or something, Durkee Lake down there or something. Well, anyways, Jay, what do you feel like? Where's the conversation brought you musically now? What are you feeling like playing?
I think I'm gonna play this song. It's off a record I put out. It's a couple years ago. I think I put one or two out since then, but it's one of my favorite records I put out, called "Crooked Line of Birds," which the opening line from this song. The song's called "Kings of Evolution," and it is one of those songs that kind of crept up on me and kind of spoke to me in a weird way. And sometimes those most mundane, ordinary life experiences will spark something. And this song, especially, I remember just seeing some birds on a power line. Everyday occurrence, and then they all kind of took off at the same time. And for some reason, I had this image instantly go through my head, they were on the telephone line, and then they heard some call going through that was some lady I ordered the gray towels, and they were screw this, man, we're out of here, and just wondering, I'm maybe they're onto something, maybe they're the.
That's so funny.
At some point in the past, they were the highest evolved creatures, and they just chose to kind of keep things simple. I don't know.
Hey.
But then this song kind of unexpectedly came out of that.
That's cool.
Crooked line of birds beneath a bleached, unbroken sky. Before they finally heard your voice reaching out across the wire, just like kings of evolution, they shivered once then flew away. Like a mystic train, it took a lot of time to get that way, but then gone in just a moment, and you might blame it on the favors of the Lord. Blame it on the phases of the moon. You might call on faith or call on unbroken truths. You'll never know for sure. Ohio, good night, my sweet little one. I recall the night you left, trace my steps to the open door. It took a lot of time to fall in love, but then gone in just a moment, and you might blame it on the favors of the Lord. You might blame it on the phases of the moon. You might call on faith or call on unbroken truths. You'll never know for sure. Sometimes Sometimes I wave my arms just to remind myself I'll never fly. It doesn't matter what you find, it only matters that you look. And I'm sick of falling down, so I relinquish our crown of evolution to that crooked line of birds.
Some nice picking. I like
Yes,
that. I
indeed,
like that
man.
guitar riff, that whatever you call it. Not a riff, really. Overlay.
No, cricket
Really
line of
smooth.
birds,
Really
man.
smooth. Yeah. Smooth like birds. Like that's
Yeah.
also going to remind me of. Is almost like looking at like a meadow of birds flying away. You know. And I've had that same experience. Maybe it's because I live right outside a power line.
Yeah.
But I mean, I look out my window and there'll be like two birds like sitting up on
hanging
power.
out,
Like, man, what are they
chilling,
saying
and
to
all of a
each
sudden,
other?
poof.
Yeah, what are they saying to each other? You know, because like they're clearly communicating.
Oh, without a doubt.
You know, and it's just like, okay, so we can talk like our hums and buzzes are more sophisticated than whatever they're doing according to us. You know, like
Yeah.
you said, that made me think. You know.
Oh, exactly. I was thinking the same thing. I was like,
Yeah.
you know, maybe a deeper perception about it. And they just decided these biopeds, let these knuckleheads take over for a while. I've had enough. You know, I'm moving on.
I'll
You know,
take
they're
the
up here
flight,
worried
you
about
know?
their Amazon order. Like you were saying, that lady ordered something on the phone. So I'm gone.
I'm
man.
getting out of
No.
here.
You know, this guy's going up into space, and, you know, these guys, planet's burning up, and they don't seem to give up.
I can fly away if I want to.
I'm
You know.
gone, you know? Oh.
What do you got going on for Halloween? Anything?
I got no plans.
No,
I don't
me
know.
neither.
I think I have no idea.
No. There's some music going on. I think somewhere.
Yeah, there's a lot of music going on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of shows on Friday and Saturday night as well,
Yeah.
especially. So,
Yeah.
Is that next? That's next weekend.
This
Yeah.
weekend, yeah, this coming weekend.
Hard to believe.
That's right. Today's Sunday.
A
Right?
week away, you know, technically, yeah.
I know.
But
it
we
really
all know
flew on
that
us
the
a bit.
real partying will happen Friday and Saturday night. So
Yeah.
I'm intrigued to see the costuming this year,
Me too.
given everything that we have been through and the fact that we're all able to kind of get back out again. you
Yeah.
know. I don't know if I can go out into the madness though. I got to be honest, guys.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
You know, I hope you all do. Don't get that wrong, folks.
Yeah.
Everybody out there, go out, support,
You
do all
know,
the things that you're supposed
stay
to do.
safe
It's more
and-
about my paranoia now. So.
Oh, for sure. You know, it's Halloween's one of those non-official holidays. It's always something you've celebrated or at least acknowledged since you
I
were
have
a
so
little
many
kid,
friends that, you know, it's an important, that's their favorite holiday of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
a lot of people.
There are
yeah,
people
they
that just
love
go
it.
to the wall about this
Yeah.
thing. And that's to me, that's a beautiful thing, you know?
I wonder what Las Vegas would be like on Halloween.
Oh, God.
Probably the same actually as any
man.
other day.
I think
know?
Vegas
Okay.
is Halloween
I've never
every
been
day.
there.
Yeah, I know.
Vegas
I
is
don't know if
Halloween
anything-
every day.
Yeah, that's
It
pretty-
only the difference costumes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, do people dress normal on Halloween
Yeah.
in Vegas? You know.
I'm going out as myself tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
It's like,
man.
why would you do that?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Now, Vinny, you know,
Yeah.
I think I'm looking at the clock, and you know, we're
probably
gonna
go-
a little extra time.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll go at least 10 minutes or 10 to 15 minutes after the hour. So we probably got about 20 minutes or so.
Now, you know, as a man that
yeah.
does so much original material, I kind of feel guilty about asking this of him.
Oh, I know.
But
what you're
you
gonna
know,
ask.
this is we do this.
We have a
this
special
kind of become
request.
the spot
Yeah.
for us. At this
We like to
point.
dig deep into
We like to
people's.
dig deep into their psyche and all of that. So you know, Jay, we like asking for a cover song
Okay.
that you know, because you know
One
the
that
thing is
means something to
we're
you.
showcasing, you know, people that do original music
Mm-hmm.
and are doing their thing and doing it extremely well.
Yep.
But there's so much that can be said about, you know, that cover tune
Yeah.
that they end up picking.
Yeah, and the way they do it. I mean,
And the way they
I
do-
love
exactly.
hearing different takes on songs you've already
Exactly.
heard.
Yeah, and you
I
know,
love
see, I'm
hearing it.
thinking, you know,
Yeah, I
this
bet you
one
he's
over
got
here,
something,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. I think he's got something in the wheelhouse that's
I
just
don't
going
know.
to sit there,
I'm
you
trying to
know.
think. It's funny, like, you know, a lot of the cover songs I know are kind of these songs that I hear and I'm like, man, I wish I wrote that. I wish I got to that song first. You know, and then, you know, these other songwriters that I really admire and stuff. So, but they're not necessarily like super well-known songs.
That's even better, though.
So maybe I'll do
Something.
one.
We know you got something. In that bag of tricks.
All right, this is a song, one of my favorite songwriters, and I've been lucky enough to play with him a few times.
Oh.
Named
yeah.
Dan Bern. He wrote all the music for. You remember that movie, Walk? What is it? Walk Hard.
Oh yeah, the Dewey Cox movie.
Yeah.
Dewey Cox movie.
Yeah, he did the music for that and stuff like that. But just an incredible songwriter, and there's a number of his songs that I'm always
That's some of that kind of
jealous
bluegrassy type stuff,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
But this is one of his that I do sing fairly often. I've changed some of the lyrics in it too to kind of suit my own purposes.
Perfect.
I hope he doesn't mind.
Yeah.
Am I in the right key? Well, I've been speaking later and later in the day. Most days I don't talk till maybe 8 o'clock at night, and it keeps me whole, keeps me holy, keeps me well in my mind. Even when I'm on the road, it keeps me coming up for air, and airing out some calm keeps me whole. And every place I go, it's one less place I could call home. And every girl I kiss, you know, I just cross her off my list, and I don't go far, I just go crazy. I bury all of my old clothes out in some field in West Des Moines. And if you're gonna judge me tonight, judge me by the songs I write. That's who I am to you. And there's that black tornado, there's that black tornado. It spins around in my body sometimes. Yes, there's that black tornado. It's a black tornado and it spins around in my body sometimes. You say, oh, oh. I can do tonight with something soft and warm and furry, but that ain't likely to occur in South Central Missouri. Yeah, it's a day off, it's an off day. It's a Budweiser, Utica Club, Bukowski kind of night, and all I got what's on my back, this guitar and a backpack, and my soul is intact. And there's that black tornado, still that black tornado. It spins around in my body sometimes. You know there's a black tornado, there's a black tornado. Spins around in my body sometimes. You say, oh, oh. And everything is changing faster than I can describe. And all I really know to do is grab that wheel and drive. And I look for love or some adventure. Oh, and I try to not let my own breathing scare me off the road. And there's a tombstone of my grandfather I visit sometimes. Yeah, a tombstone of my grandfather I visit sometimes. And there's a black tornado, there's still a black tornado, and it keeps on spinning around in my body sometimes. Oh yeah, black tornado, there's a black tornado spinning around in my body sometimes. You just say, oh, oh. All you can do is just say, oh.
Nice.
We asked for it, Charles.
Yeah, you go. Exactly. You know?
Yeah, Dan Bern, he's
Nice take, man. Nice take.
he's one of my heroes, and yeah, just definitely blessed to have been able to meet him and stuff. But yeah, it's as a cover. There's your cover.
You've probably met a lot of people over your. Let's see. I found a nice little sentence, Charles, that might make us our head spin. Well, we now have 22 full-length albums. I think this was in 2020. Yeah. Thousands of shows across the eastern U.S. as well as Europe and Asia. 15 years, 6 cars, thousands of miles, few pairs of boots, and 800 songs. Probably more than that now, but that was from an article on CNY Live, which is we cross-post this show on their page. But
oh, cool.
I mean,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that was cool. That's I mean, I didn't realize you've been really all over the world playing.
Yeah,
that's
you know,
awesome.
I like to travel. Travel is a huge part of my life, and unfortunately, that's been put on hold for a while now. I'm looking to get back out there, but you know, find a plane ticket, head out, and you know, my usually when I'm traveling, you know, my purpose isn't going to play, but I'm going to take the opportunities to do it, you know. So I'll go and, you know, pick up a few shows here and there and bounce around, you know. So I've been able to, you know, play in Jordan and Israel and
Wow.
Oh wow.
That's
Thailand
awesome.
and Ireland a little bit.
It's a good way to
What is-
explore.
yeah. I mean, what's been your favorite place?
It's hard to say. My favorite trip, about 2.5 years ago, I was in Jordan and Israel, and that was really
It's
amazing.
been incredible, yeah.
Right before the quarantine, I was in Cuba and then also Peru. And Peru was pretty wild as well.
Dude, you're hitting some of the food meccas of the world.
Yeah,
Oh, man,
incredible.
I'm salivating now after hearing
I
this.
know. And some of the most scenic
some
places,
gorgeous
too.
places as
Jeez.
Yeah, Machu Picchu.
Did you go there?
Yeah, I hiked 5 days to get there. It was insane.
Yeah, I've heard the hike is insane. I mean, I've heard
It was
some
not easy to get there.
Wow.
But it was, yeah.
worth
I know
it.
someone else
Totally
did it
worth
and
it.
said the exact same
Yeah.
thing, but said it was so worth it.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
I gotta go to Machu Picchu.
Spiritual. That's,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
you-
that's
you
one of
like-
the things, the two things I would encourage anybody to do is like pick up an instrument or sing or do something, pick up a paintbrush
Yeah.
just for yourself, and also travel wherever, just go on a little adventure and
Get
you
out,
know,
get
don't
outside
hang out
of
on the
your
beach.
little world.
You know, get off the beach, go walk around.
Talk to people.
Yeah.
Talk to people.
Yeah, you know. It's
Perspective.
tough nowadays. You know, I feel like myself being somebody who, since I was a little kid, I say hi to random people. Like, it's not just like from across the room or something, but if I walk by somebody and make eye contact, I'm usually, hey, how you doing? This and that. But like I notice, like the older I get, the less like a little kid that I look. It's more of like a, wow, why is that person saying hey to me? Do I got something on my face, or do I got, it's almost like, depending on the person, you can be taken off guard by, I don't know, somebody being, I don't know. I feel like it might be harder nowadays than it used to be to venture out and talk to people. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I
Yeah, and
You know?
it depends where you go. It's kind of funny. On one hand, traveling, being all over the world and stuff, you find this sense of how small the world is and how similar we are. On the other hand, there's also those vast differences that really don't matter a whole lot. They're just fun. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they don't. It's not
Right.
like they're just interesting and how
Like, oh, you
cultures
do that
react to
that way?
different
I do
things.
it this way.
Yeah, but really we all want the same thing and we're all looking for the same thing. And
Yeah. And I think a lot of things get over accentuated in conversation or.
Oh, true. Well, I think we've all kind of tuned into a much smaller world in the sense of how much electronics, social media, etc., are dictating the world that you have. Whereas
Yeah.
before, we were off. Not forced to be outside, but that was what we did. So you were
And that's
interacting
almost-
in a more natural way
Yeah,
sure.
than that little cube that you're locked into with.
the whole
this
world
thing.
and all the information you could want is there, but I think there's something to be said
I think-
that like
well-
there's a bigger world when you're actually in it.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I think we miss the energy. I mean,
Sure.
to be honest, I think I remember as a kid, and you spoke well to it, Vinny. I mean, and I'm from the Midwest, and if you go by somebody, you're at least acknowledging, was
Right.
the way we were brought up.
Yeah.
And so and there's that energy, there's that exchange, and I think because we have all kind of like we were saying, locked ourselves in these little rooms and windows and think that we're going out and exploring the world, we really truly aren't because we're not getting that interconnected thing.
Yeah.
There's something
Yeah.
missing.
I have some of the most special moments with random people that afterwards you just think about what happened. You're just like, man, like, was that the reason why I decided to go for a walk or walk, because it's just like, when else could that have happened?
and being open to those.
Those moments, yeah.
yeah.
Take it, yeah.
Like you said, the universe speaks if you listen to it.
Yeah.
And if you're not, like, it'll keep trying to tap you. But if
Saying.
you gotta be receptive to
Yeah,
it.
you got to be open to it.
Yeah.
I think, and that's one of the things. I think we as a society now, we've started to close ourselves off a little bit in that way.
Yeah.
But hopefully we'll get better after all of
I'm
this.
personally
after being
learning-
locked down as we have been.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
I'm
know
personally
I'm
learning-
clamoring. That's the
Yeah.
thing that I've missed the most.
Yeah, yeah.
Breaking bread with friends and everything.
Sure.
Think about it. Just opening that bottle of wine and hanging out, just being stupid together.
Like what we do on Sunday nights.
There you go, right there.
That's pretty much what this is.
Exactly. Except for we don't have the bottle of wine open.
I know. Well-
we'll change that and just keep it
Yeah,
off
keep
camera. We don't want to upset the FCC.
That's
so,
right. That's right.
So,
Well, we'll go about another 10 minutes or so. I mean, let's hit another song, and then we'll come back and kind of wrap up, and then we'll close out with one last song.
Cool.
Sound good?
All right, yeah, sounds
All right.
good.
What do you feel like playing?
Let's see. So, if we're gonna do 2 more songs. Right? Is that what we said?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll do this one here.
Okay.
This is another. Hey, perfect.
Heyo.
I wrote this after, like we were just talking about, spending all night on the internet.
Oh, that can't be good.
And I come up with this song called Conspiracy Theory Blues.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Not quite in tune, but close enough for folk music, I think. We're almost there. All right. Well, the other day I went on the internet. The reasons why I quickly forget, but I fell down what them kids call a rabbit hole. You know, I didn't eat and I didn't speak. Forgot to feed the dog, pay the heat. But then, 49 hours later, I knew it all. Now I got them conspiracy theory blues. I got them Breitbart, Bigfoot, Fox News, JFK, Alex Jones, conspiracy theory blues. The people on that World Wide Web keep saying UFOs are flying overhead, and they come down to build the pyramids and Taco Bell. And they say the Martians are amongst us still, actors, models, most of Capitol Hill. And I said, well, that makes sense as far as I can tell, 'cause I got them conspiracy theory blues. I got them Breitbart, Bigfoot, Fox News, JFK, Alex Jones, conspiracy theory blues. And the lizard folk, they've been on the news just spreading lies like they've got nothing to lose, yeah. Shape-shifting monsters hiding in plain sight. And eventually they're gonna make their move, enslave us all. Well, pretty soon I guess I better finish that novel I've been meaning to write. Now I got them conspiracy theory blues. I got them Breitbart, Bigfoot, Fox News, JFK, Alex Jones, conspiracy theory blues. We never went to the moon, of course, 'cause the moon don't exist. Oh yeah, it's all just a hoax, a hologram to hide us from the truth. And the earth ain't round, it ain't even flat. Now I'm convinced it's the shape of a baseball hat, and we're all just floating in space on the head of the ghost of Babe Ruth. 'Cause I got them conspiracy theory blues. I got them Breitbart, Bigfoot, Fox News, JFK, Alex Jones, conspiracy theory blues. Yeah, who didn't kill himself? Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, and of course Bill Gates started COVID-19. And them Twin Towers got blowed up from the inside. And I'm pretty sure Mitch McConnell is half man, half fish. Turns out the Loch Ness Monster, he ain't even Scottish. Have you seen his birth certificate? Yeah, neither have I. 'Cause I got them conspiracy theory blues. I got them Breitbart, Bigfoot, Fox News, JFK, Alex Jones, conspiracy theory blues. Yeah, but then somewhere along the 48th hour, I started getting confused and a little sour. Started questioning everything that I had seen. But then I started to connect all the dots, and everything made sense. Well, maybe not, but now I'm convinced Elvis ain't dead. Elvis was me, and I'm a time-traveling, singing, dancing SOB. 'Cause I got them conspiracy theory blues. I got them Breitbart, Bigfoot, Fox News, JFK, Alex Jones, conspiracy theory blues. I got them conspiracy theory blues. I got them Breitbart, Bigfoot, Fox News, JFK, Alex Jones, conspiracy theory blues.
It's like a whole another universe through music, you know? I'm like floating through the lyrics. So fun. My favorite was the baseball hat shaped earth.
I'm just happy Elvis is still around. Man.
Yeah.
I know, me too. Clearly.
I keep looking for him in a diner.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
that's where we're going to find him. So.
That's right. Before Jay closes us out with one last tune, I just want to remind our listeners, this is Jay Schnitt, Schnitt when you're looking for it. Go to the Bandcamp website first. But you're
Bandcamp,
also,
Spotify, like on Facebook helps.
That's right.
Ton.
That's right.
Just clicking that button, I tell you.
Yeah, and then you could follow
And you got
his
his
where his
website
events
as well.
are, and and all that. And what's that last show you got going on too? One last show for
Syracuse.
Yeah, Syracuse. Where the
Night
heck
Drop
is
in
it?
Syracuse.
It'll be
right?
posted. I don't remember the date. It's a Wednesday, I believe. I think it's
I'll tell you right now.
I don't think I've posted it yet.
I don't
I'm
think you
looking
have
at my
either.
phone.
Well, we'll
What's the
find it.
venue?
In my phone.
Night Drop in Syracuse.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's
I don't
Coming
know.
up.
Keep a lookout.
keep an eye out on
It's
the
like
Facebook.
10th or
Night
the
Drop
17th,
is
one of those.
it's on West Seneca Turnpike right
Yeah.
over there.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm
So
happy to get in there. It'll be my first time there. So.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you spending the Sunday evening with us. And,
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
It's
of
been
course. Charles, we'll have him close us out here.
awesome. I'm gonna close out with this guy. It's off the new record.
Great.
It kind of is a very personal song for me, and it's one of those songs that cropped up when I needed it most. I kind of when I get the opportunity, playing at bars, you don't get to talk about this stuff a lot, but mental health and stuff, and
Yeah.
I've been pretty open about dealing with my issues with depression and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and being in some really dark places, and I think we need to kind of make it a little more acceptable to talk about, because
Me too.
Most
when you're
definitely.
there, you think you're the only one,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Oh.
But you're not, but it's almost like you feel like you are. It's confusing. We
Yeah.
should reach out to each other more,
yeah.
Oh, you got that right.
Yeah.
And,
Just knowing that that's all where we get to at some point, whether you think, it's not easy. Everyday life isn't easy, and so I agree with you that should be something that people aren't afraid to bring out more.
So I'll just do this song. This one, I came up in I wrote it on a night that I needed to write it. I'll say that much. I'll go a little more detail sometimes, but not here. But it's called Rabbit in the Road.
Beautiful.
When my mother and father were still in high school, they spent the night together, got up to no good. A surprise on the way, the world they knew was gone. And then 9 months later, my older brother came along. And wouldn't you know it, all these years later, they're still going strong. But there's one thing that I want to know. Were you ever afraid? Were you ever afraid? Like a rabbit in the road, or a stranger who finds himself stranded in the cold. A child lost in a maze, or every day when I wake up just trying to find my way. Did you ever feel the same? Were you ever afraid? When my best friend went off to witness the world, the monsters in his mind, they all tagged along. He walks the streets at night without a penny of his own. And I know sometimes he's just still looking for a home. But wouldn't you know it, all these years later, he's still going strong. And there's one thing that I want to know. Were you ever afraid? Were you ever afraid? Like a rabbit in the road, or a stranger who finds himself stranded in the cold, a child lost in a maze, or every day when I wake up just trying to find my way. You ever feel the same? Were you ever afraid? It'd be so easy to drive this rumpled wreck of blood and guts into the riverside. You know I fall in love at least twice a day, the sight of a woman's eyes. And all the people I admire most can carry the weight of what they fear the most, like a rabbit in the road, or a stranger who's finally found his way home. You know the least that we can do is help each other, just keep going strong. 'Cause don't you know, the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. Best is yet to come. The best is yet to come.
Man, Jay Schnitt, man.
You killed it tonight.
Killed it.
Killed
You know,
it.
the best is yet to come for you, brother.
That's right.
Definitely.
Yeah.
For all of us, man.
100%. 100%.
Appreciate you
We
coming
appreciate
in.
you
Thank
giving
you
us
for having us.
giving us your
Awesome,
all,
man.
you know, and best of luck to you, Charles. We'll see you next
See you
Sunday.
next Sunday. I think we got Rachel Whitman
Do we?
coming in to see us next
We still
week.
got a few great shows lined up in a row. Make sure you check those out live when they happen, and you can get this and every other recording on American Vintage Productions Facebook as well. So
CNYmusicnow.com.
that's right.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody at CNY Music Now, and have a great work week, everybody.
WXHC FM, Homer, Cortland, X101. Always class.